on every single drone strike, including the one that killed an American citizen, Anwar al-Awlaki. That was a first. To make that public was news. He also said, I am open to reconsidering the authorization for the use of force, which is what gives him the power to do these drone strikes to go after al-Qaeda. But, he didn't define how he defines al-Qaeda, Jake. So I think there are a lot of unanswered questions that this speech leaves open. What is an associated force of al-Qaeda? How does he decide who fits his definition for a strike? Some other things he raised, he said he's open to more oversight in these drone strikes, either from the judicial branch or inside the government, his own executive branch. But then he immediately knocked down both as problematic. Both of his options are problematic. He said his attorney general is going to look into these leaks investigations and what should be the right balance with press freedoms. So now you know this as well as I do, Jake. The minute you say that there is an inquiry and a study underway, now whenever we're going to ask a question in the press briefing room about this, they'll say, well, there's a study underway, so we'll answer that question once the results of that study are complete. So I bet that'll kick those answers down the road, and we won't get those answers anymore. So I think there are a lot of questions that this still leaves unaddressed, and some of his critics on the left will still be unsatisfied, but at least he's on the record trying to address his policy and define it before the books on this administration are closed, Jake.
We have to wrap up, but I want to go to Congressman Thornberry for one last thought, which is I found it interesting, Congressman, and you're on the Intelligence Committee in the House of Representatives, so I'm sure you were aware of some of these details already, but there's been so little that has been publicly said by the government about Anwar al-Awlaki, the U.S. citizen who was killed by a U.S. Predator drone strike, and that the administration for the first time yesterday admitted having ordered that kill of the 4 Americans killed by drones. That was the only one that was on purpose, Attorney General Holder said. And then he gave details about Awlaki and his role in the failed Christmas Day bombing of the plane, details that I would suspect have been classified up until now about the role that Awlaki played, not just as an inspiration to failed bomber Umar Farouk Abdulmutallab, but having actually played a role. Did that surprise you at all, Congressman?
Well, it surprises me a little, and there may well be additional classified information on his activities that has not been unclassified yet. And so I think in that respect, the president's trying to explain when there is a real threat out there, we've got to take action to deal with it. But I want to go back briefly to this point. There's some specifics the president can follow up on. For example, there is a bipartisan bill in Congress now to increase the oversight over these lethal drone operations and capture operations that, again, has bipartisan support. If the president would endorse something like that, I think it would go a long way to building trust that he is willing to have that independent oversight from Congress looking over the details of these actions in a classified manner. But I think that helps build trust in the public that somebody else is looking at this, and I think he needs to do that.
All right, Congressman Thornberry, thank you so much. That's all for me right now. I'll be back in 47 minutes on The Lead. Brooke Baldwin is live in Moore, Oklahoma, and she'll have special coverage continuing after this break.